Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another brand new, well actually not really brand new, but another Cretaceous Creations release. But what's cool is this one's actually been out for a little while now. It may be one of the first ones that they had created that I remember seeing. It is the Parasaurolophus, and as you can see, it is very clearly the Lost World Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus, which is awesome. I love that Parasaurolophus. Few things really scream the Lost World Jurassic Park to me than the Parasaurolophus itself in this design. That may of course come from the old Kenner toy and just how iconic it was back in the day. So I really love that version of this dinosaur, and they've captured it again perfectly as they always do. So let's go ahead, readjust the camera, and get a closer look. So starting up here in the head sculpt of our Parasaurolophus, you can see everything looks really good. You've got the beak sculpted nicely, and I love that they've even applied a little bit of like cracks and crevices to the beak. Just some nice fine detail there that looks really good. That area is painted with a dark brown, and as you move up and over the top of the head, you can see even more fine detail leading up as you lead up into the crest of the dinosaur. And again, that brown follows the entire way up, and as you move down, I love the way it just kind of like, appears and moves down, kind of like patterning down just slightly and spotting in a few areas, and then picking back up again right under the eye, and a few more spots as you move down. You also have like that tan tone of color as you move down into the face of the dinosaur. Some more nice looking detail throughout. You've got a black for the eye, so again, a little Pop Funko-ish as far as that goes. As you move around the back, you can see more really nice detail. We can also see the spinal column pick up, and that is painted with a nice dark reddish tone. Pretty much the way that this dinosaur should look, again with the reddish tones moving over the back, obviously a little bit more exaggerated on something like this. You do also have a white that moves down here as you move down, but there's also a darker brown striping above and below that white that does, transition away really nicely, the white itself, as you move back into the hip region. Moving down through the course of the figure, you do have a nice white here for the underside of the Parasaurolophus, and they've done a really good job of painting that out as well, and also applying some nice fine detail down there. You can see some creases down here under the lower jaw, as well as some more moving down into the neck. You see some osteoderms as well popping up here and there. A little more brown as you move down into the top of the arm, and then you lead down into the arm itself. You've got the fingers sculpted very nicely, and again, the claws painted with a dark brown, it looks like, in that area. Is that a dark brown or a black? Yeah, it's hard to tell. It looks like a dark brown, I think. But as you move back up, again, you can kind of make out the top of the hip bone. You also see some more of those dark brown stripes moving in from the back of the thigh. The musculature is shown off here in the thigh quite nicely as well. A few more osteoderms. As you move down, you've got the kneecap right there. Again, some more osteoderms leading down. And we transition to a white for the feet. The feet look really good as well, and I love the way that the toes are sculpted out with those scoots, and we also have very, soft claws in the dinosaur. We don't have like predatory claws or anything, which is nice to see. And again, painted with a dark brown, it looks like. And then you lead up and you've got more of that brown, as well as the brown moving over the top that kind of meets back up out here at the tail, and then of course the red that does all disappear as you lead out there toward the tip of the tail. You also have a little curve to the tail as you lead out. That's a really cool visual when it comes to the patterns there on the back of the Parasaurolophus. If you look at it from over here, the biggest difference of the figure overall is the fact that the body's kind of turned away from us, so it's turned more toward its left, and you do see that here in the head sculpt, kind of looking away from us as you lead down. You can see the arms are held pretty close to the same way into the body right there, but the leg is also taking a step forward on this side, so that is another difference that you see over here compared to the first side. But everything again looks just as consistent, just as beautiful on this side as what we had seen on the first side. The tail also curves away from us over here on this side again, because again it is leading toward the dinosaur's left, kind of making it look like the Parasaurolophus was walking and then just decided to kind of make a left turn, because the whole body's kind of turning that way. But that is a really nice looking Parasaurolophus. You can also see the white leads the entire way through pretty much the underside of the dinosaur. But they really did a great job of, again, paying tribute to the Lost World Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus. And we also, of course, have the base, which you can see again with the grayish tone returning, and again that kind of cracked stone and concrete sort of a look, which looks really good. The pegs for the feet, and then the underside, of course, Cretaceous Creations, and then Parasaurolophus. So again, a really nice base as always that follows the same trend as the other figures, making them all look like a complete collection. As far as a size goes, for a length from the beak to the tail, you're looking at about just shy of 4 3/4 inches, or around 12 centimeters, and then for a height to the top of the crest, just a hair under 4 inches, or around 10 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect A human being next to our Parasaurolophus. And you can see again that the Parasaurolophus is definitely on the smaller side, but at the same time one of the larger versions of these figures that I've reviewed recently, because I have reviewed a few Velociraptors which were a bit smaller. So overall you can see it's actually kind of similar in size to the Colovosaurus. Then another figure I've been using for quite a few comparisons this time around when it comes to these Cretaceous Creations releases, we have the Mattel Velociraptor, which you can see again is pretty similar in size, honestly. We also have the Rebirth Tyrannosaurus from Cretaceous Creations, and since the T-Rex very clearly seems to feed on Parasaurolophus quite often, especially in Rebirth, we see a dead one laying there, I figured this would be a fun comparison to show you guys, showing you that the T-Rex is obviously a bit larger. And then a really cool comparison because we have the only 2 Lost World Jurassic Park figures so far to come from Cretaceous Creations, with the Tiger Stripe Velociraptor and Parasaurolophus standing here next to each other looking absolutely epic. So this Cretaceous Creations Lost World Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus is super cool. It is a beautiful looking figure, and I think they really did a great job as a whole in, creating this figure, but paying a very impressive tribute to the original design. Like, it genuinely does have the look and feel of the original design, almost of the maquette, but obviously with a little more life added to it, because it does have, it doesn't have that standard neutral pose. It has a little life with the, turning of the head and the curvatures of the tail, repositioning of the feet and everything, but still kind of looking like that old maquette, which I really do enjoy. But they did a very good job as a whole on the overall appearance, as well as the fine detail, keeping it in their same similar style, giving it that sort of chibi / pop Funko / almost animated sort of a look. And of course, keeping the, Lost World Jurassic Park Parasaurolophus color scheme is definitely the greatest way to go when it comes to this dinosaur. In my opinion, it's always been my favorite color scheme for this dinosaur, and the way that it's been appearing in any Jurassic media. I always am so partial to this original color scheme, so I love the fact that they went that route with their Parasaurolophus as well. This is also the first herbivore that I've actually reviewed so far from Cretaceous Creations as well. So a little important fact for this one, that's the first one that gets to appear on my channel. So if you are interested in this, you absolutely should pick it up. So I will, of course, include a link in the description to where you can grab this again from the Cretaceous Creations shop. So make sure you go head on over there, pick this up, add it to your collection, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.